And let me share my screen. All right. I hope you can see it fine. All right. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Welcome. In this meeting, we'll go through the improvement tasks, release tasks, umbrella issue, and try to triage the subtasks one by one. And sorry also for short notice for US folks. I just wanted to give some more time for everyone to vote. And then the perfect day was Monday. But I see you guys are here. Thanks. Let's get started. I was thinking that we could, since I already copied over the umbrella issue that we have here to the HackMD, so that it's easier to go through because it has this side-by-side view and we can discuss them one by one. Are there any objections, or if anyone has any other options? All right, let's go like this then. Just to give a context, we have this umbrella issue. I hope everyone is aware that has, as is now, 34 tasks, and we divided them into basically by team. The first is CI signal, we have comms team, and we have the basic section, and we have subtasks. So basically, this is a collection of all subtasks going from release v1.4, v1.5, and v1 currently what we have. And for now, how we're handling it is, so we have an umbrella issue and we have subtasks, and each subtask has its own issue and PR link to it, so that it's easier to hopefully manage it. And most of them have, next to them, have the owners of issue who is working on what, so that we keep track and avoid people working on the same task. Okay, let's start with then the first CI signal subtasks. We are done with the first one, automation release branch and tag creation, thanks to Cecile. I linked it here. PR is merged, so we are good with that. The next one is creating SBOM of all the cluster API components and verify post-build creation or action. And there's an issue for that. So the main idea of this call, I forgot to mention, is we should go through them and try triage them by priority as much as possible, because some of them might be highest priority, some of them not. So we have to try to make them prioritize basically and try to triage, because as you see, some issues here were canceled and we decided as well not to. That could be because of like we lost context over the time. So that's the main idea as well of having this call, so that we know the context and we'll triage them better. Okay, so let's start with SBOM. I think I'll just open this. Yeah, I see Nawaz raise hand. Please go ahead.
We had a discussion today morning, and can I update the people who are interested in taking this up? I do have an updated list, as in there are 3 people who said that they would be interested in picking up 3 other tasks. And do we want to update it right now, or do you want to triage it first and then see if we want to assign the name?
Yeah, thanks for call out. Probably we should just triage it first, and then we can see who is interested to work on that based on priority, if that works for you.
Yeah, works for me.
Nice. Okay, how do we go? Do we go one by one in this list and then decide which one has the highest priority, or any ideas, any suggestions? Probably we should go one on all of these subtasks and probably decide at then. Yeah, Kilian?
Yeah, just on that, I think a very rough and ready prioritization is probably the way to go here instead of trying to really stack rank things. So just kind of a should do, nice to have, probably shouldn't do is probably the way to prioritize these rather than trying to like get stuff in a listed order, because that will just take too much time. And I don't think it's a good use of people's time. I'm not sure if people have other ideas about how we should do this.
Yeah, I think I agree. Some rough direction, if it's like super useful, nice to have, is probably good, but otherwise.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Do we go one by one and yeah, then decide, right? How do we want to do it? Okay, the first one is SBOM. Any ideas how important or urgent is it for the repo? I know it's copied over from, I think started from release v1.4.
I think can be really urgent because we basically have it since forever, and it's basically like, oh, Kubernetes is doing, maybe we should do it as well. But I don't know about anyone specifically saying they need this. So I would say nice to have.
All right, nice to have. Any other ideas? I'd also say that. Sorry.
I call this important long term or should do. I don't know how. Yeah, just it's not urgent, but it's something we should probably do at some point, just in terms of project maturity and secure supply chain, which is becoming more and more important. So
yeah, I mean, we can also use our normal priorities on the repo, so we can flag it accordingly once we have an issue. So maybe important long term.
Thomas?
Can we just add a small legend up there somewhere saying these are the 3 priorities we are using to rank? I mean, I can add it on the top if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah.
Something like
yeah, feel free to edit, add. It should be visible to everyone and everyone should be able to edit it, hopefully. Okay, so here are the labels. And I think we agreed on to have priority importance on, right?
okay.
All right, let's move on then. Do we have any questions on these 2? We decided one of them, we had a discussion on the slide. Sorry, did anyone want to speak something? No. So we had a discussion on Slack. Based on the Slack discussion that we have here, we decided it as it will not do or cancelled. And the second one, release them on cherry-pick PRs. That's also based on the discussion here on the issue. We marked it as will not do or cancel. Yeah, yeah. That means will not do canceled. Probably I have to clarify this. Okay, next one. Theoretically, we can use this to generate bug reports. How important is it?
Are you currently still doing this? So are you trying to create issues with Kate's triage, or are you just writing them yourself anyway differently today?
Yeah, that's a good question to see, I think, actually. Yeah, Ceci?
So
go ahead, Noah.
no, go ahead. You had your hand up.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna, before you ask the question, gonna say I think this seems like backlog because there's already a workaround for it, which is to do it manually. It's just it would be nice to be able to automate it. So to me, it's a backlog. But go ahead, Noise.
I was just trying to provide a context on what the issue was. So when we go over the Kate's aggregated errors API at the UI, it shows us a list of errors. So when we try to file a bug over there, it opens up an template issue against the Kubernetes repo instead of the cluster API. We would want to get that fixed, and when we click on file a bug, we would want the template to be created against the right repo instead of Kate's repo. So that is what the issue is talking about.
Yeah, thanks for context. And also, well, one more thing related to this, we already have issue templates. So for example, one for flaking test, one for, I think, flaky, what was it? I forgot. I had it myself.
One for flaky, one for failing.
Yeah, one for flaky, one for failing tests. I think we could have used that already, right? But this is more of like when you are checking this triage. Probably I'll just go open this link. Basically, from here, by clicking this button, basically, that's all. Instead of going to repo and choosing the issue template and filing an issue.
I think nice to have is fine. I mean,
Yep.
this problem is that there's no obvious easy way to implement it. I think otherwise you would have already done it, but the tool is a bit strange.
Yeah, exactly. I also agree. It should be probably nice to have. Any other ideas about this or objections? Otherwise, I'll move to the next one. Okay, I don't see. Sorry. Any raise? Yeah, anyone raising hands? Okay, I'll move on then. Thanks. Next one is consider implementing a tool to generate our Proud Job YAMLs. That was assigned to Killian. And I think it has pretty high priority, right, Killian?
Yeah, I mean, I would put this as important soon, or whatever we have. It's not urgent. We can say nice to have. But yeah, this is just a very useful thing because those PRs are regular. It's manual work that's just annoying to do and probably even more annoying to review because of it's just hundreds of lines of YAML. Yeah. So yeah, I think let's leave that as nice to have, but I have it on my radar, so hopefully I'll get something out soon.
I'm just getting tired of reviewing those PRs. So Killian will have to implement
it. Cecile?
Yeah, just wondering if we should use the like priority label wording just so we can use those in the actual issues too later on. Or what
Sure,
I guess what does nice to have map to? Because I think we used it as backlog before, now we're using it as important soon. So slightly different priorities.
Let's have them, yeah. So nice to have is priority backlog. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's not too urgent, not too important. Just we'd like that at some point.
Yeah, and then this is important. Was it long term or soon?
Soon.
There's both. There's one that's long term and one that's soon.
Yeah, there's also critical urgent, by the way.
Yeah,
we probably don't have anything critical urgent.
Yeah, it's a drop everything situation. We can't release anything unless we fix this.
Yeah, which we shouldn't have at the moment.
Sure. Critical urgent.
But it's important to make a point that our urgent here is not critical urgent.
Yeah, I don't think we should mark anything in here as critical urgent. We should just, important soon backlog, or just don't mark it at all. Because by definition, given that these are like release improvement tasks, nothing here should be critical or urgent.
Yeah. nice to have. I think this one is backlog. This is also backlog.
So was that backlog or was that because I heard Killian say important soon?
Oh, sorry.
Stefan just said he's not going to review these anymore, so I think important soon might be better.
I wouldn't say it that way, but no, I think it's fair. Just put a bit of pressure on Killian. That's fine.
Thanks.
I mean, important soon means must be staffed and worked on either currently or very soon, ideally in time for the next release. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, more or less.
Sure. Yeah, I think we are good now with priority so far. And then next is homebrew, I think. Improve the homebrew publish process. I'll quickly open this link. We had a chat with Stefan actually, but then I think we left it there saying, yeah.
So what is the state on their side? I mean, they have it basically automated, but doesn't work every time. Is that like the state?
Yeah, so basically, it's not right away opened. Like they cannot open a PR right away because we need it. We usually do it while we are releasing, or like after release, we right away open a PR, right? But for the automation to work, we have to wait, and it's unknown how long, because I'm not sure what kind of automation do they have. Could it be the GitHub action that could run every week or like 3 days? So we might want to wait for it to work, and then someone still go and check, find the PR, and then approve our GTM. Yeah.
So I mean, our problem why we can't automate this is probably because we can't really. I know. I think it was it about user accounts, GitHub tokens? I don't know. Our problem with automating it on our side.
I don't think we tried to automate it on our side because it's in homebrew repo. Yeah,
that could be.
We had a GitHub action at some point that was created, never worked on our side. I think the main issue is that if you have a GitHub action, the default GitHub token, it can only create PRs in your own repo. You can't go create PRs in other orgs and other repos without using a personal access token. And so I think that's the main issue is we need someone's personal access token or bot account that has permissions to go open a PR in that repo. Or the GitHub action needs to live in the homebrew repo, which doesn't seem like it's possible. So
to be honest, I think I would just open manual PRs, but I mean, the work is on your side, so it's not my opinion that is important. It's just we already spent so much time on it, and I think we would have spent less time on it if we would just open manual PRs the next 2 years versus continuing the discussion. So it's, I don't know. Seems not worth it.
Sorry, Joe, you had a hand raised, and Kieran also.
Yeah, I just wanted to agree with that. The amount of effort to do the PR is staggeringly low for the amount of win, I think, here. I think there's other probably better prioritization that needs to happen. So like we could totally do it, but if I were to prioritize, I would say like super low importance.
Killian?
I think, yeah, everything I want to say has been said.
Yeah, one small addition. The effort we have to put into this is not only writing the automation, it's also maintaining it and make sure it continues to work. So even if we invest initial effort to make it work, we will still have continuous effort, and nobody knows if that will be lower than opening a few manual PRs.
Joe?
Yeah, sorry, real quick. I think right now the only thing that we have to do in the PR is just grab the SHA hash, put it in the change. So it's like a single line change and a single line simple PR. So I think I want to say it's like 5-10 minutes at most to kind of do it.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just one line change that you just take from the change log of the release, like hash ID, and then you just update it in the file. And then there is another bot, I think. It will push second commit that will run in open PRs, basically. So all in all, it's one-liner PR, and probably we could do it ourselves instead of trying to automate it. My personal opinion, of course.
I would be also fine with even closing that issue.
Actually, we agreed to close it, but we forgot. That's why it's still here. But yeah,
I can do it on the side.
Yeah. So do you decide to not to do probably, or?
Yep.
Right. Unless there are other opinions, I'll just put it not to. Okay, then next one, improve the Netlify access model. So more automation or more shared access. To be honest, I don't have access to Netlify in any other repos. So anyone who wants to share ideas here?
I have access. I have opinions. I really wish we did this. Like, that would be great. This is really painful, and I think it's painful for others in the Kubernetes community. So it's not just us. So the win, like if we do this, the impact is not just for CAPI, but it's for all the projects that use Netlify across states. So that's in terms of like the benefit. However, the cost of doing this, I think, is pretty high because there's a reason why it hasn't been done, which is it's just doesn't. There's no clear, straightforward way to make this work. And every time I've asked the docs or SIG docs folks or the docs tool people that maintain Netlify, they've said like, "Oh, we think it's already automated." Like, no one's really sure what the story is there. Great question. Netlify is used for publishing our docs website. So the CAPI book, it's hosted by Netlify. And so in theory, everything should be configured via YAML files and checked into codes. However, there's several things that Netlify doesn't allow doing through the API. And so we have to do in the UI. For example, anything that's around like subdomain management. So we have like one domain for each release branch. That stuff, we have to do it manually in the UI. And in order to have access to change things in the UI, you need to be added as an owner manually by one of the admins. And that's done at the Kubernetes level. So for the whole Netlify org, which makes it pretty painful. And it's not like we can rotate people very easily every release.
Yeah, thanks, Cecile, for context. And I'm not sure if it's a pain or if it's the same issue with upstream Kubernetes. What can we do here? Is there a way to? Yeah.
It might also be a question of different projects have different requirements. I think a lot of our stuff comes from the way that we use multiple branches, and that every branch is like its own. I don't know how it's called on Netlify. Because I think a lot of the buttons that we have click, I mean, I think it's like 2 or 3 distinct actions that someone who has admin access has to do. And it's like, I don't know, redeploy, change the production branch, and I don't know what the third one was. They might not exist if you only have like one website with one, I don't know. And you do your multi-branch thing, either you don't have it or you do it via, I don't know, context root or whatever. So it could be that the specific actions that we have to do once every minor release, I think, might not exist for other projects. So, but it also means that if we take a closer look there and if you rewrite our entire book to work differently, this problem also might be gone. But that's also effort, of course.
Thanks. Joe?
Yeah, so I just had a real quick question. Like I don't know how to automate any of it, so that's probably a longer term solution. But like, is it possible? And I know we can't rotate per release. Is it possible to get more maintainers on the list so we don't have like? Because I think for the 1.5 release, I either had to bug you, Cecile, or Vincent. And so I think those are the only two people I was aware of who had it. So if we know who has access, again, I don't want to fall back to like somebody who's the maintainer for releases. I know we've kind of talked about that, but we're trying to get away from that. But if there's a list of like people to bug to get ready for the release, I think it's a one-time thing maybe for each release. And I know we don't want to do that, but like, is there a way we can at least make it easier and more high availability until we automate?
So I don't remember who exactly has access, but of course, definitely Cecile and Vince. I also have access, and I'm pretty sure that when I got access, that I also got Fabrizio access. I assume we didn't like redo the thing when Killian became maintainer. I don't know if Alberto has access as well. But I think what we definitely can do is ask again to basically add maintainers which don't have it today. You can probably grab somewhere in either SIG-docs or SIG contracts. When I was asking the last time for Netlify, just look for my name in Netlify. And then we just ask the same for whoever is not in there. That should at least help that we have like 6 people or something.
Any other ideas? So do we just add all the maintainers for now? Yeah, I see multiple. Cecile, probably.
Yeah, just to clarify, the actual effort that's required from the maintainers to do the thing is very low. So it's not like it's just going to click a button. So it's not, every once in a while there's higher effort where we need to actually like contact Netlify support to get them to create new, new domains for us. But other than that, like every release, it's low effort on average.
Killian?
Just in addition to it being low effort, I think this isn't as time sensitive as we certainly made in the last release cycle and the previous release cycle. This doesn't have to be done like at the same time as the release. It's fine if it's a few hours or a day late. There's no need to put pressure. So if we have the list of people who have access to it and we can just post it in the channel, that should be good enough.
Okay. So priority-wise, could we say long-term or backlog?
From this conversation, my opinion is that this should be important soon, but the goal shouldn't be to absolutely change the access model and fix everything. It should be to maybe further document it, further understand the process and make some improvements to it, but so that some progress is made along this rather than putting it in the backlog.
All right, any other opinions?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Just bring up a question from the chat. How much more time do we have?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out we got 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's probably because I created the link and it's asking me to upgrade to the pro version of Zoom.
I can provide a new link if necessary.
But we can anyways, we have to probably switch. I'm not sure. Would it be possible if we switch to probably CAPI office hours link?
Yep.
Yeah,
Let's just switch over now.
just now.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's finish this
Oh,
one first
okay.
with CI.
Yep.
Yeah, the last one is clearly define the CI team scope. I think it's from miscellaneous section. I'm not sure from where we got this. Probably from retro session of previous release cycle.
Yeah, this came up in the retro of the 1.4 cycle.
I see Navas.
Yeah, I think I would put this priority as important, urgent, because there's a little bit of, I mean, not so much clarity on, say, if there is a issue, how do we approach it out? Not just for our team, for the other release cycles. How do we reach out to the channel? What do we classify as a failure or a flake? So there are some questions around it. So I think the whole of CI team scope should and could address it and improve the documentation. And there were also some more questions around the bug triage. So we have had different takes on bug triaging. Like we triage, for instance, the test flakes bugs, not all of them. So I think it'd be nice to have some answers around it as well.
Yeah, I would say important soon, but yeah, fine is critical urgent if you think so. Any other ideas? Yeah, I see. So also saying important soon. Yeah, I'm fine with critical urgent, so let's leave it. Before going to communicate,
Killian had his hand raised.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I really would suggest we reconsider critical urgent, given what that means on other issues in the repo. That this isn't something that I agree it's important, but it's not something that should like block a release or even be considered when the next patch releases or minor releases come up. That can we do a release because we have these critical urgent issues. So I would definitely say important soon to prioritize this and get people working on it, rather than make sure that this is sorted out before the next patch releases or ahead of other bug fixes or whatever else is going on in the repo.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I think important soon sounds more better than critical urgent. It's not a blocker to say.
All right. Do we switch over then to the CAPI office hours Zoom link? If that's fine for everyone. I'll stop sharing and stop recording probably.